Welcome to the gymnastics dismount on another highly questionable week. What do you like today, Bomani?
Don't get greedy on the fake punt.
Vamos, papi.
Is Richard Sherman right that the Seahawks shouldn't have passed from the 1-yard line?
So this is what post-traumatic stress disorder looks like in football. He is remembering that 1-yard line pass in the Super Bowl, and last night they have a similar situation present itself. He got really bothered by the fact that they were throwing from the 1-yard line instead of running it. Here's what he had to say after the game, after arguing with Pete Carroll, after arguing with the offensive coordinator, after arguing with teammates. He's very emotional. Listen to him after the game.
I don't like when we throw the ball at the 1. We throw an interception at the 1. You know, luckily it went incomplete, and I wasn't going to let them continue to do that.
Were you having that chat with Bevel, or who were you?
I was letting Pete know.
Oh, you were. Oh.
Yeah, I was making sure Pete knew that we're not comfortable with you throwing the ball at the 1.
But you were having it out with Pete too, right?
Yeah, I was letting him know. You know, we've already seen how that goes. We've seen that. I'm sure you guys have seen that play enough times.
Speaking of Richard, it seemed like right before that touchdown pass to Doug that he was pretty hot.
He's fired up. He's fired up. Yeah, it's good. Well, between what he was saying and what Doug was saying, Doug was saying, give me the ball, and Richard was saying something else. And I needed those two guys to go sit down and have a little time out and talk it over and figure out what we should do next.
Was Darryl involved in that?
No, it was nothing. It was just guys being fired up.
Doug shouting back and forth. Was there something about play calling?
I don't know. I'm not going to give you that. I don't know. I don't have a clue.
One of the things that I love about that team and that team's relationship with that coach is that he allows them to be themselves. He gives them a proprietary interest in the game plan. He allows them to help him with the game plan. Now, I'm not sure how much I want Richard Sherman handling my offensive duties, but I love how much freedom he gives all those guys.
And one thing I love about Color Rush is you get Pete Carroll out there dressed like a pack of Doublemint. Now, one thing you have to remember is not just simply that they have input on what goes on with the team. They got one of these hollering teams. They holler at each other. They holler at each other through the media. They have press conferences about each other. That's the state of equilibrium for them. Oh, by the way, that's where we are, NFL. That's what we had to do to talk about your stinking Thursday night football game.
You know what Pete Carroll should do? Put Sherman in the backfield and give him the ball and says, now you score.
Okay, all right.
That's what you should do. You score.
All right, you want us to run the ball?
You are.
You want to run the ball so much? How about here? Goal line situation, all these defensive tackles.
How should John Ryan feel about his fake punt?
Wow, we got 2 questions out of that Thursday night game, and look what it took for that to happen. Fake punt. I imagine that when these things happen, the punter here is like chariots of fire playing in his head.
Yes.
Yeah. He didn't think he'd have this much. He got a little greedy and whoops. And then he got knocked out.
It was looking so good right till there.
Oh! Like the wheels all went off then and ended with a head injury. How should he feel about the fake punt? They were going to win without it. Like if he had scored a touchdown, maybe it'd have been worth the glory. That wasn't a touchdown. You just made a blooper.
Here is what I love about that fake punt. He had about 40 yards of freedom there. He was feeling really great about himself, and then he bobbles the ball. And he says to himself, oh, no, this is as bad as this gets. No, it's about to get a lot worse than that. You're about to have snot in your nose and bubbles in your mouth, and you're not going to know where you are with the blood, and your head is going to be scrambled.
Hey, John Boy, you got to hang on to that ball after that kind of a run. You know, you went from a hero to a goat. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody was applauding you. Go, 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 go. And all of a sudden, you fumbled the thing. You know what I mean? You got to hang on. This is the NFL. This is where the big guys, they play.
That's right.
He'd respond to you, except I don't think he'll be turning on the television until Tuesday.
Is any part of you hoping that the Cowboys put Tony Romo in for Dak Prescott this weekend?
Any part of me? Every part of me is rooting for this. I think that the Cowboys have the better quarterback on the bench, and it's rare in these circumstances that the better player has to continue sitting on the bench. You've gotten Dak Prescott, a guy who hasn't thrown for 200 yards in the last 3 games. He hasn't thrown many touchdown passes. He's made some mistakes. He's fumbled the ball. At what other position in that sport would the better player be available and you don't actually play him? This is the only position in the sport where we do that. No matter where the winning is, no matter how the winning is, you don't do that at any other position.
Now, don't blame us for this, right? Blame Jerry Jones for this, because Jerry Jones has made it impossible for us not to discuss this. So what part of me wants to see Tony Romo in there? It's a small part of me. It's the part that hosts the radio show. Like, the part of me that hosts a radio show sees this, it's like, I really don't even have to talk. I can just turn on the phone lines and let you do my work for me, because this is one of the more compelling stories that we've ever had. It didn't have to be compelling. They could have made it dead one way or another, but not Jerry Jones. He loves my radio show.
Here's the thing about that that's fascinating to me. Normally, under these circumstances, you don't want the noise that all of that brings. Jerry Jones is someone who likes the circus music. My guess is he'd put Tony Romo in just to get us talking about it more.
Do it, please.
Well, I don't know. Dak Prescott is running out of gas. Tony is injury prone. His back, his shoulder. How about Mark Sanchez?
Oh,
He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez. That's Jerry Jones says in the hole. Mark Sanchez. That's the guy I'm rooting for.
That was the total surprise there that he went and found the Latin guy.
Was it wrong for the Patriots to sign Michael Floyd?
Michael Floyd was a receiver with the Cardinals. He got a DUI. That was his second DUI in his time in Arizona. Then he got released. And then Bill Belichick picked him up. Now, one thing you have to remember, Michael Floyd walks in the door as the number 4 receiver for the Patriots. You know why? Because they only have 3 receivers. They're not quite at a point where they can be as discerning as other teams when they start deciding about what the moral issues are that will determine whether or not they sign somebody. And Bill Belichick got him when he did because he wants a compensatory pick in 2018. He can do this because we know he's not going to answer any questions.
The morality of this is not interesting to me because Belichick has tenure, he's fearless, he can do whatever he wants, and it doesn't much matter what we think about it. I do find interesting that part, that even if Floyd doesn't work out, they're going to get back one of their Deflategate picks because they get a compensatory pick. And more interesting than that is this question to me, which I feel should have been the question in the show. If Michael Floyd had known that it would have resulted in a trade to the Patriots, would he have gotten that DUI on purpose because he ends up in a pretty good situation?
Is Leonard Fournette doing the right thing by sitting out LSU bowl game?
Keeps trying to make a dude named Boogie into Leonardo. It's one of my favorite things about him. But Leonard Fournette, according to the Advocate in Louisiana, says, hey, he's not playing in the bowl game, that he and Ed Ogeron came to that conclusion together. The reason is his ankle's still hurt. They wanted to get to 100% before he goes to prepare for the draft. I think that is the right thing for Leonard Fournette. I also recognize the gray area being he's not the only dude on that team that's going into the draft. And I wonder how many of them wish they could go talk to Coach O and say, let me get to 100%.
None of them are quite as valuable, though, as he is. And if this was a bigger bowl game, he'd be playing in it. Here's another way he'd be playing in it. If it were the Florida game and Florida started a fight with their team before the game and he was going to sit out before that game, but when there was a fight in that game, he ended up deciding to play. All you got to do to get him to play in this game is to get a fight on the sidelines before it starts.
It's also worth noting, though, by the way, that they might not have had to do this for Leonard Fournette now if they had done the right thing in the Florida game and said, fool, sit down.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it's the rare chicken buzzard with a Cuban accent.
Here, you go say that to Leonardo. See how that goes over. I tell you, he ain't going to be speaking no Spanish to you.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
There's Lundqvist, the dude with the big stick. Oh!
Whoa.
You don't see that every day. Not to the Kang.
Oh, and nobody's going to fight over that? Wait a minute. Never mind suspension worthy. Why is there not a fight after that? Matchup between super teams. Super teams.
Oh, no.
Did he lose a jump ball to Steph Curry? Oh, Joakim. Oh, and now he's complaining to the ref.
I mean, he's right, though. Steph absolutely got the ball on the way up.
Time to play the game that can fill his face. Do you question?
What that means? You give us topics and events, so we question them.
Do you question Joakim Noah?
Joakim is his name, although maybe it's a little more Latin than I give it credit for being. Joakim was someone who was high up in the MVP voting recently, but not so recently. Let's look at this last night. Matchup between super teams. Super teams.
Oh, no.
Did he lose a jump ball to Steph Curry? Oh, Joakim. Oh, and now he's complaining to the ref.
I mean, he's right, though. Steph absolutely got the ball on the way up, right? Like, he is correct about that. He's not on the referee, though, because he was that offended about the jump ball. He knew damn well. Maybe not that he wind up in Do You Question, but his homeboys are going to let him hear about that one.
I'm surprised he can still jump. without his bones turning into dust.
You know how old it makes me feel that we're now making jokes about Joakim Noah being old?
Wait a minute. Do you realize how old he must be for this guy to be making fun of how old he is?
Do you question if these two are supposed to be together?
We're going out to a Rockets game from a couple of nights ago.
These two?
Here we go. Oh. I've had many friends wind up in situations like those. I had one homeboy one time hit the ground like somebody started shooting.
What just happened there?
Whatever it is, she would not like to be on the camera. Or maybe this television show.
Was it someone who was in the distance? Was it a camera? They just don't want to be seen holding hands. Don't do that in public if you don't want to be seen holding hands.
Nah, she might have warrants. You never know. That's what it is right there. I do think you need to warn people before you start hitting them with the camera in their faces, though. Look at James Harden like, nah, I see you. You can't run nowhere.
I see both of you.
Oh, that reminds me of a show that I loved many years ago. The name of the show was Candid Camera. You know, every time they put you on a camera, you try to go around. You didn't want to be shown on the camera.
Candid camera reference.
1967 was a great year.
Alan Funt was my hero.
You realize, by the way, television hasn't moved past that. 50 years later, we're basically doing Candid Camera on every channel, every hour of the night.
Do you question if this has been a good coach?
We're going out to a Tampa Bay Lightning game. We've got a Victor Hedman who is doing something before the game with one of his coaches. Let's see.
So the head man is Hedman?
No, he's the player.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And-
wow.
Oh, look at that. That's right. Yes.
Wow, that's a remarkable level of trust there from the coach.
Yes, that is faith. And then afterward, because he's a little scared here, look, the fear melts away, and here's a little shoulder for you.
Yeah, I tell you this, though. Don't use me to impress children, right? Like, I feel like that's a trick that you use to impress the 70-year-olds. Go find somebody else for that. I'm in charge here. Is that the coach, by the way, or is he just a dude in a polo?
Is he the coach or a coach?
Well, if you want to impress me, you got to do it with your skate, you know, and see how tough that coach is,
see,
you know.
that's right.
That's
right. Like, if you really want to do it, let's do it. Let's see if there's a finger on the ice afterward.
I feel like this was just an excuse for us to show the dude having the knives thrown at him. Is that why you brought this up?
Let's do that for no good reason whatsoever, just because it's fun video.
And if you want to take it one step further, doing blindfolded. That's even better.
Look at
with
that.
skate and the blindfolded.
Yes.
That's right.
My father's got a whole magic act breaking out around the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Because who needs their fingers to coach?
That's right. That's right. Good point, Bomani.
That's right. You can only not point, but you can use the nubs.
Never know what to say when he really thinks those are good points.
Well, you know, once in a while you make a good point. Do you question whether this is suspension worth it?
It's hockey. Henrik Lundqvist. I don't know the names of any of these other dudes. What's up? There's Lundqvist, the dude with the big stick. Oh!
Whoa!
You don't see that every day. Not to the Kang.
Oh, and nobody's going to fight over that? Wait a minute. Never mind suspension worthy. Why is there not a fight after that?
Yeah, I assume he was a bit more well-liked by his comrades.
Once your helmet flies off and you're the star goalie, you're King Henrik.
Wow. I mean, the suspension feels right.
But why is there no fight there? Usually these guys police themselves that way.
That's the tricky thing with hockey. We chastise them for the fighting, and then when there is no fighting, we ask where it is. Because, I mean, if you're going to fight.
That's right.
Fight, fight,
Right.
fight,
Right.
fight,
Right.
fight, 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 fight.
So am I supposed to fight him or you?
I don't know. Who's supposed to fight? Let's get the cameramen to fight.
Ring, ring. No Lemon Studio. What's up?
Who this? Who this?
This rapping forte. Who is this?
Oh, this P.
P.
Yeah.
P.
Yeah.
P. Let me hear you say, oh, oh. Man, yeah, no P.
Man, crazy, man.
This broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is wild and free. See? Or no?
Tell us what to watch on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued.
Sunday on Fox, Giants and Lions.
No, both of these teams are totally counterfeit, so that means one of the counterfeit teams is going to win this weekend. But let's check out champion athlete Eli Manning warming up before last week's game. Yes, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 2 rings. That right there beat the undefeated Patriots. Right there, the Patriots had no answer for that. A Patriots of Randy Moss and Tom Brady. Bomani, are you intrigued?
We have to say this again. He hinted at it, but let's put it in clearer terms. After this game, either the Lions or the Giants are going to be 10-4.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. You know, I want to see Matt Stafford playing with an injured finger, you know? I mean, that is something. You know which one is the finger that I'm referring to, right?
No, what is the finger?
This one here.
There it
That's the
is.
finger I'm referring to.
That's the finger that was hurt. This is totally scientific. My father's not doing anything gratuitous there. He's just showing you the finger that Stafford hurt.
You know how difficult it is to play with an injured finger?
All right, you can put that down now, old man.
Sunday on CBS, Browns and Bills.
No, and no level of faux enthusiasm that you throw into your voice is going to make me more interested in this. But Terrell Pryor was called garbage by Adam Jones last time we checked in with him. Let's hear what he says in response.
Some guys like to do it, talk after, and some guys don't, which he had the right. You know, I was garbage that day, you know. So, I mean, I had 1 catch, 3 yards. You know, I was garbage. He's right. And he was an accurate statement.
There you go. Bomani, are you intrigued?
So we're not going to talk about that hair whatever? Like, I don't feel like cut is the appropriate term. Like, we're just going to let that ride like that. That's what 2016 is, huh?
All right. Also garbage. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Are you kidding me? The Browns are going to break that losing streak. RG3 is going to have a... Huh?
Yeah, we're stunned by what you predicted, Poppy. It's not like I wasn't reacting because something bad happened here. We were just surprised by what you were saying.
RG3 is going to have a hell of a game. I'm telling you, he's going to pull all these stops out. RG3 is going to surprise everybody. You know, he's going to be running around, throwing the ball, running the ball. He's going to do it all.
You left out the other part of that game. When Rex Ryan gets fired at the 50-yard line if they lose.
Can we just in slow motion just replay my father's befuddled look at us reacting to him in slow motion, him predicting a Browns victory? Stopped us all, including him.
Browns are going to win. Mark it down.
I know.
You heard it first here. ESPN highly questionable.
Yes.
We analyze the game before the game is play. We predict the results. We choose the winners.
Yeah.
Papi has spoken before the game.
All right.
On Discovery Life, untold stories of the ER.
This isn't going to be as good as yesterday, right, where we ended the show where something had gotten stuck in somebody's scrotum, something disgusting, and my father confused a rectum with a scrotum. Never mind. Let's go to the clip.
Tyson, how you doing?
The same. Not much.
In this situation, I really have to determine, is this guy injured? Does he need further care? Or does it stop here and does he go back to prison? I'm not seeing anything. No soft tissue swelling, nothing. To have this degree of paralysis and sensory deficits, I would expect to see something.
Warden says we can transfer him to county as soon as you're ready to release him, Doc.
I want to check one more thing.
Yeah? What's that?
Follow my finger. You're gonna look down, look over. I grabbed his junk and twisted quite hard. He's not paralyzed. And at that point, he just sort of exploded with obscenities and all that. It started kicking and thrashing. I routinely don't get that physical with patients. But in the first case, it absolutely saved a life. In the second case, it really might have prevented an escape plan. Some of my colleagues, they've referred to me as the junk whisperer or the crotch twister. I'd rather have some really cool surgical procedure named after me, but I guess you take what you can get.
Congratulations, Doc. You went to medical school, and that's all I know you for right there. Bomani, are you intrigued?
He had the nerve to strut, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
Everything else I had to say, pretty ingenious plan, probably for the public good, but the strut.
The bald guy was also a terrible actor, by the way. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Well, listen, doctor, call yourself the junk grabber. You know, I'm telling you, you made a big mistake.
Not what he
You
called
better be
himself.
when this guy comes out of jail, he's going to be looking for you. So you're marked man. So you better move out, move to another state. You know, get a new identity. You know, change profession. You got to do all those three things because this guy is a mean dude. He means business now. You should have given him a pass.
What a terrible nickname, the junk grabber.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Gracias. See you el lunes.
It's your birthday. I got you a present.
Yeah?
Yeah. I never used it anyhow.
A lot of thought went into that one, did it?